Welcome to Malice and Mystery, the mysterious hum sound heard worldwide. Hey, what's this? Some kind of strange humming noise which can be heard all over the world. This sound has many people scratching their heads, wondering where it is coming from. Many claim they hear this mysterious hum, but are unsure of its origin. Some say it sounds like an electric generator or even a jet engine, while others describe it more like a low, constant roar. And still others say it reminds them of the ocean waves crashing on the shore. No matter how you may choose to describe it, this sound has many people wondering if we are going crazy, or if there really is some kind of undiscovered source causing this worldwide phenomenon. So let's get to the bottom of this. What is the mysterious hum, and why do some people hear it? Before we get into that, make sure to hit that subscribe button. It really helps us out and we appreciate it. Now, back to the video. The hum has been reported by people from all over the world, from Australia to North America and everywhere in between. People in both rural and urban areas have reported hearing it, although some claim it's louder in cities. And despite its seemingly random nature, there are some patterns to the reports. Most of the people who claim to hear the hum are between the ages of 20 and 40, and it's also more common among men than women. Additionally, many of those who report hearing the hum have higher than average incomes and education levels. Could there be something to this whole conspiracy theory idea that the government is behind it all? Well, not so fast, because there is a perfectly logical explanation for it. But first, let us take a closer look at the history of this phenomenon and see if there are any legitimate reports of it. The first recorded instance of the hum was in 1979 when a resident of Coventry, England, reported hearing a constant humming sound coming from the direction of the city's power station. At first, the local residents thought it was just a one-off thing, but the noise persisted for weeks. Eventually, the city council was forced to send out a mass letter to all residents explaining that the noise was due to nearby construction work. However, many residents were unconvinced and believed that the council was trying to cover up the real source of the noise. Since then, there have been numerous reports of the hum around the world. In 2007, researchers at the University of New South Wales in Sydney, Australia, conducted a study to try and get to the bottom of the mystery. They interviewed 56 people who claimed to hear the hum and found that most of them had similar descriptions of the sound. It was described as a low-pitched, roaring sound that was present all the time and could be heard inside and outside of buildings. Although the researchers were unable to identify the source of the sound, they concluded that it was likely a type of environmental noise pollution. In 2013, another study was conducted, this time in the United States. Researchers at the University of Michigan interviewed 31 people who reported hearing the hum, and found that it was most prevalent in people between the ages of 20 and 40, with higher than average incomes and education levels. While this may seem like a strange coincidence, it actually makes sense when you consider that these are the people who are most likely to live in cities, where there is more noise pollution. But this doesn't explain why only some people hear the hum. After all, if it's just a byproduct of living in a noisy environment, then shouldn't everyone hear it? Well, it turns out that there is actually such thing as a hearing threshold, and different people have different thresholds. For example, someone who works at a construction site may be able to hear sounds that are too low for someone who works in an office building to detect. This is why some people hear the hum and others don't. It's not because they're crazy or making it up, simply because they have a lower hearing threshold and can pick up on sounds that are below the range of human hearing. Okay, so we know that the hum is real and that it's not just made up by people who are crazy or trying to be crazy. But what about the conspiracy theories? Are there any legitimate concerns that the government or some other powerful entity is behind the hum? Well, there is one interesting case that I want to tell you about before we go into that, though. Let's take a look at the most popular conspiracy theory surrounding the hum. The most common belief among those who believe the hum is man-made is that it, as being caused by government experiments or surveillance, For example, some believe that the hum is the result of testing for new weapons, or that it's being used as a form of mind control. Others believe that the hum is actually a form of communication between government agencies, and that only those who are in the know can hear it. These theories are obviously far-fetched, and there is no evidence to support them. But that doesn't mean that there aren't any legitimate concerns regarding the hum. One of the most disturbing possibilities is that the hum is a symptom of something much larger and more sinister. Some believe that the hum is a sign of an impending global catastrophe, while others believe that it's the result of extraterrestrial activity. There is, of course, no evidence to support either of these claims. But it's important to remember that conspiracy theories often start out as crazy and then later turn out to be true. For example, the assassination of John F. Kennedy was initially seen as a plot involving multiple assassins. However, the Warren Commission concluded that Lee Harvey Oswald acted alone in killing the president. Similarly, the death of Marilyn Monroe was initially seen as part of a vast government conspiracy. However, further investigation revealed that she died of a barbiturate overdose. Although these cases are not exactly the same as the hum conspiracy theories, they do show how what might seem like a far-fetched idea at first could potentially turn out to be true. This leads me to one of the most famous cases of the hum, Taos hum. The Taos hum is a low-frequency noise that has been reported in Taos, New Mexico, since the 1990s. Hundreds of residents have reported hearing the hum, and it's been the subject of numerous scientific studies. The hum was first reported in Taos, New Mexico, by a local newspaper reporter named Dan. He noticed that whenever he went outside, he could hear a low-pitched humming noise. At first, he assumed that it was just a byproduct of living in a small town near a major highway. However, after talking to other residents, he realized that many of them could hear the same noise. Reached out to the local university and asked if they could investigate. The university agreed, and a team of scientists conducted several tests to try and identify the source of the noise. They were unable to find anything, and the case was eventually forgotten about. But in recent years, the Taos hum has started to make headlines again. A new study conducted by the University of New Mexico in 2016 found that about 2% of residents in the area could hear the hum. The researchers were able to identify some potential sources, such as wind turbines and nearby highways. But they concluded that these were unlikely to be the cause. Instead, they believe that the hum may be a form of mass psychogenic illness. This means that the people of Taos are not actually hearing a noise, but their brains are somehow perceiving it. There is still a lot that we don't understand about the Taos hum. But it's an interesting case that shows how something that seems like a simple noise can sometimes be much more complex than it appears. So what do you think? Do you hear the hum? Let me know in the comments below. Well, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe and leave a like. Thanks for watching. See you next time.